and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Starting off the show, we have Bubbles, and Bubbles has been with us since actually the end of December, and she is one of our cats that definitely chooses who she likes. It's a very stressful environment here. Which leads me to the fact that one of our animal care technicians, Kira, is here with Bubbles today because Bubbles trusts and likes Kira. She is very friendly to most people who are visiting her in her cage, but when it comes to taking her out and moving her around in this kind of stressful, weird environment for many of the animals, she prefers to have certain people do that with her more than others. So to make her feel safe and secure and to give her an opportunity to showcase what a great cat she truly is, we wanted to do that with Kira so that she could definitely feel comfortable here on our set. Bubbles is approximately 8 years old, and it seems, according to her previous owner, that her birthday is coming up on April 23rd, and I can't think of a better birthday gift for Bubbles than a new loving home. She is definitely one of our sassy cats in that she knows what she likes. She's an older girl, so she's, she has all of her feelings well established. So when she's done, she will definitely let you know that she is done being handled and things like that. But she also has a much softer side. As you see right now, she's pretty happy and content, sitting on a lap, getting all kinds of love from Kira. She looks fairly relaxed. And I've also seen her do silly things, very kitten-like things in her cage, like sitting and playing with her tail and just going to town, despite all the other toys that she has. No, she wants to play with just her tail. But unfortunately, she's not one of those cats that comes right to the front of her cage. So even though she's been on our adoption floor since January 1st, that she hasn't really had any people come and ask about potentially adopting her. So this is a great way for people to see how truly sweet and deserving of a loving home she is. If you are interested in Bubbles, you can visit with her here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. This next guy with Tammy now is Loki, and Loki is one of our shy cats. He definitely is not as comfortable in this environment as some of the other animals are, but he is very, very sweet. He's very affectionate. I think once he gets into a home environment, he's really going to thrive. In his cage, where he's now established that's his home base, his safe place, he's super affectionate. He will lean into you, come right to the front, show you what he likes as far as where to pet him, things like that. But once he comes out of that space, he's definitely very scared. So he's a cat that you're really going to have to be patient with when he's adjusting to a new home, and make sure that you're providing him with safe places to hide and maybe not have a lot of activity going on initially. But then after that, he's definitely going to settle in. He's stressed right now, but he's still not really fighting Tammy. He's enjoying the pets that he's getting. He loves attention. Unfortunately, his neighbor is always at the front of his cage meowing for attention, so sometimes he gets a little bit overlooked. Loki is about 2.5 years old. He was brought to us because his owner said they couldn't bring him to their new apartment. If you are a pet owner, there are many, many pet-friendly apartment complexes in this area. So if you do a little bit of research, it might cost you a little bit more money as far as pet deposits and things like that are concerned, but there are many ways and many places where you can live in this area where you are able to keep your pets. So that's available to you if that's something that you truly want to do. You want to make sure you can keep your pets. According to the previous owner, Loki is also used to living with other cats. He gets along with other cats, dogs, children of various ages. They say he's playful, he's friendly, energetic, calm, able to handle. Again, that's how he is in his home, where he feels comfortable and safe, and hopefully he will definitely adjust relatively quickly and be that way again. He also, I evidenced this and watched this. There's proof he uses his scratching pad, so that's a big concern for a lot of people. If you are willing to take on one of our shy cats, you can visit Loki here at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Our next guest is Bubblegum, and as you can see, she enjoys a nice cat bed. She is about 3 to 4 years old. She came to us as a stray in mid-March, and she's been with us ever since. She's super cute when you can see her. She's definitely got that forever kitten face. She's another one of our shy cats, so it's going to take a little bit more time for her to warm up, possibly in a home environment. She's not always at the front of her cage, but she is, willingly and is eager to accept attention from people. She's just not going to run right to the front of her cage and do so. She is one of the cats that was previously in a wild box. And we've talked about wild boxes on the show before. They're just a way that we can provide a safe place where the cats can hide when they're scared, but also a way to protect our staff when certain animals maybe are unhandleable. There are many times where cats start out in wild boxes here, and thanks to the work of our staff who spend a great deal of time trying to socialize these cats and get them comfortable, and just in general time and patience, letting them settle in here in our facility. They work their way out of those boxes and make their way onto our adoption floor. And Bubblegum is just another one of those examples. She has done really well with all of our volunteers, so she just is looking for a home. And unfortunately, the shy cats don't necessarily stand out. We were talking earlier about how Loki is next to one of our more vocal cats, and Bubblegum is right there with them. So, Emu takes up a lot of attention. All of those cages that are right there, because he's right there and he's meowing at you and he's reaching out for you, you're automatically drawn to him, and unfortunately, the other cats that are kind of around him get overlooked. If you're looking for a cat and you have a specific personality type or something in mind, talk to the staff, talk to the volunteers. You might be drawn to a cat that's engaging you, but ultimately another cat might be a better fit for your family, and we are very willing to help you find the right match for your home. If you are interested in Bubblegum, you can visit with her here at Animal Control. We are open to the public 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. So we've been talking about some of our shy cats, and at the opposite end of that spectrum, we have guys like Chipmunk. Chipmunk is definitely not shy. He is in one of our greeter cages, which means that he's right there in the front when you walk in, willing to accept and just be in awe of all the attention that visitors are going to be giving to him. He is a relatively young cat at 1 to 2 years old. He's a handsome gray tabby. In addition to how affectionate and sweet he is and outgoing, when you look at him, you may notice some things with one of his eyes. So he does have a cloudy eye. It is going to be on his left eye, and it's an old corneal ulcer, and we're not treating that. It doesn't really affect him in any way. That's just something that's going to be there. It definitely sets him apart from the other cats on the adoption floor, but there's no need to be concerned about that. And Chipmunk here is also a good example of the fact that we treat what we see, and he developed a urinary tract infection while he was here. So we have started treating him for that, and he'll finish his treatment for that while he's here during his stay at Animal Control. We do our best to treat all of the animals that come in with illnesses. He came to us as a stray, so maybe he had that urinary tract infection before he was a stray. He's super affectionate. Maybe he was not using his litter box as a result, and somebody just put him out. Or it could be something that, he just happened to have. Urinary tract infections can be common reasons why animals are not using their litter boxes, and then therefore common reasons why they ultimately end up here in the shelter. So if your animal is not using his or her litter box, definitely make sure that you're taking them to the vet, because it could be like Chipmunk here, that they are suffering from a urinary tract infection. Because he's a stray, we don't really know much about his history, but he is definitely super sweet, super affectionate, right to the front of his cage, will let you pick him up quite easily. He wants to get down and explore and play, so he's just going to be a good mix of an active young adult cat. Our adoption fee for our adult cats like Chipmunk here is going to be $97.50. You can visit him here at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Ava Max is another one of our cats that loves attention. She is one of our younger cats. She's not even a year old. She's about 8 to 10 months old. She also came to us as a stray, and she has a sign on her cage that says, "I love attention and may bolt to get it," which means she will try to get out of her cage to get all the love that she can possibly get. I've seen her happily sitting on laps, but I've also seen her bolt out of her cage when she gets put back in her cage from that lap. So she's definitely super affectionate. She's still relatively young, so again, still very playful, very curious. When you adopt an older kitten, I think the benefits are twofold. You still get that energy level, although it's a little calmed down. But then you also get that fact that it's an older cat, so the personality is a little bit more established. When you're getting those 3-month-old kittens, you don't know if that cat's going to want to sit on your lap when it gets older. With a cat like Ava, we know, we've seen it here, she enjoys sitting on laps and cuddling with people. So those are the benefits. If you're still looking for that really young cat, consider getting an older kitten. We get them in all the time. And they, not as much as, say, the senior cats on our adoption floor, but they too will get overlooked when we start getting those really young kittens that are available for adoption. She does have a tipped ear. However, there was no visible space scar, so I'm not sure whether, they just couldn't identify that scar, or there was another reason that her ear kind of is tipped. So we'll discover that, as we move forward with her. But she's got a beautiful coat, she's got a beautiful face, she's got a big personality. We talked earlier on the show about cats that will reach out for you for attention and will talk to you a lot, and Ava Max definitely fits into that category. But as you can see, she's quickly found her spot on Tammy's lap and is quite content to just sit there and look around and hang out. So she is going to be another one of those, like Chipmunk, best of both worlds, where you're going to get that really playful cat, but you're also going to get that cat that is also super affectionate. All of our cats are adopted for a fee of $97.50, and you can visit the ones you've seen on the show today, or any of the many cats here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Now that we've had an opportunity to meet some of our cats, after the break we are going to introduce you to 5 of our adoptable dogs, including one very special guest.
Child abuse is not an isolated problem. It affects each of us, and it is only through each of us that child abuse can be prevented. Get involved. Call the Child Advocacy Center to find out how to help. 301-600-1758. Transit services of Frederick County. With rising gas prices, transit is a less expensive way to work or school. Most commuter bus routes run every 30 minutes during weekday morning and afternoon rush hours. Bus stops are within a quarter mile of most businesses in downtown Frederick. Transit offers shuttles to Thurmont, Emmitsburg, Brunswick, Jefferson, Spring Ridge, and Route 85, or take a shuttle to the MARC train for an easy commute. Find out what nearly 1 million passengers already know. Transit connects people and places.
Welcome back. Our first canine is one of the bigger dogs on the adoption floor. This is Waylon, and he is, of course, a hound. We've been getting in quite a few hounds lately. Waylon came to us as a stray. He's estimated to be about 3 to 4 years old, and his tail is a weapon. I can tell you right now, as it smacks me against the leg, that it has a little bit of a sting to it. And he has already knocked several things off of the table here with his tail. So something to be aware of if you're going to make Waylon part of your family. He, again, came to us as a stray, so we're still learning things about him. But as you can see, he knows sit, he knows paw. He's a very motivated, intelligent dog. He uses his outside run or separate kennel to go to the bathroom, so he could maybe use a little bit of work with house training. He's very friendly, which is quite evident from his appearance on the show today and how he behaves in his kennel. He reacts favorably to other dogs or has no reaction to them. He's easy to obtain. He is a little difficult to walk, so some training on polite leash walking, loose leash walking would be beneficial for him. According to our staff, he's difficult to walk because he pulls and he jumps up on people. He's just excited and he needs to learn those basic manners. He's relaxed when you make eye contact with him, no issues with food aggression. He willingly lets go of objects. He sometimes likes to tug, but sometimes he's not that interested. He loves to be petted. He's uncomfortable with handling his mouth, but otherwise, like with his feet, he just resists like typical dogs do. Our staff thinks that he's very sweet and he just loves attention. So if you're looking for a big dog who wants to, cuddle and be with you at all times, then Waylon might be that dog. Things to make sure that you're aware of with the hounds, as you can see right now, hounds are all about their nose. He's going to follow those scents. He's going to be easily distracted by scents. So if you're thinking of, electric fences, invisible fences, those are not going to work as well with the hounds because they're going to follow their nose and walk past those things. So they are a little bit different. They can be a little bit louder. They're not necessarily great apartment dogs. So while Waylon is super affectionate, super smart, if you are interested in adopting him and you don't have hound experience, I would encourage you to do a little bit more research so that you know what you're getting into. This guy is Spike, and he's just one big ball of energy. He is a 9-month-old pit bull mix, and he is as energetic as you think a 9-month-old pit bull mix would be. He is a sweet dog, but he definitely needs some manners. So he needs to learn important things like what it is and is not acceptable to chew on. Right now he loves to chew on hands, which is not great. And a lot of dogs learn that from when they're puppies and people think it's cute and then they let them get away with it. And then when they get to be Spike size, which is now 51 pounds, it's not as cute anymore. So, the way that you allow your young puppies to behave will affect their behavior as an adult dog. So it's really important to start training young. Even though Spike looks like an adult, he's much older puppy. Whoever adopts Spike is going to need to treat him like that very young puppy. He's going to need someone to teach him boundaries and proper manners, things showing him what he can and can't chew on, showing him to walk nicely on his leash showing him not to jump up on people. So he's just gonna, even though, he looks like an adult dog, he's still gonna be the same amount of work as a much younger puppy. Here in the shelter, we have seen that when he does get excited or nervous, he does do that mouthing thing. So keeping that in mind if you do have younger children in your home. There are no restrictions on the type of family that could adopt Spike, but you do want to be mindful of that. He does need to be house trained, so that's another thing that some people don't want to deal with, so make sure you're prepared for that. Otherwise, he willingly lets go of objects. He doesn't really have any issues with food aggression. He's friendly. He reacts favorably to other dogs. He just, he gets excited. He's bouncy. He's jumpy. He's mouthy. He can be difficult to leash up and to walk because he needs to work on that polite leash walking. He gets playfully aroused when he gets petted right now, but he does like the attention, so hopefully that'll just settle into enjoying that type of interaction. So if you're interested in Spike and are committed to giving him the proper training and structure that a young dog would need, you can visit him here at Animal Control. Our adoption fee for puppies, that's anything under a year, is $150. Our next dog is one of our older dogs. This is Angel. She is 12 years old. She is another return to shelter, so she was adopted from us about 11 years ago as a much younger dog. The circumstances that brought Angel here are really quite sad. Angel is a great dog. She is a blue color-coded dog, which means she's the most easygoing. She definitely adjusts well to new situations. She's very friendly, affectionate. She walks nicely on leash. She's housebroken. She gets along with other dogs. The care and maintenance of her coat, dog hair in my mouth actually, is very, very easy. She's just a great dog. But unfortunately, the previous owner had a fence, and the fence fell down in a windstorm. And because without a fence, when you just let the dog out, she would wander, and the owner, couldn't get that fence done. Didn't want to take the steps to walk her on a leash. Or use the puppy pads, even though she's trained to both be housebroken and use puppy pads. So she surrendered her here to us. So, as long as you are willing to walk her on a leash, or you have an acceptable fence, or even if you're just willing to use puppy pads, Angel is pretty much housebroken. She's a very easy dog to care for. At her age at 12, they can live 15 to 16 years approximately. So she still has a lot of good years left. And she's a great dog if you want a dog in your life, but you've never had one before. She's an easy dog to start with because she already has all of those basic manners and things down. She's very calm. She's going to be a good dog for an older family who maybe doesn't want to deal with puppy energy, or someone who's living in a smaller home that doesn't need a dog that's bouncing off the walls and barking annoying neighbors if you maybe live in an apartment. But having a pet means dealing with the fact that pets go potty. So whether you have a cat, a dog, a hamster, whatever, you're going to need to be responsible for those things. So she goes out immediately when our volunteers take her out. She goes number one, number two. She will use a puppy pad if you lay it down for her. You just have to be committed to making sure that she can go to the bathroom. It's a relatively small expense, and it's something that's necessary and a part of pet ownership regardless. So it's unfortunate that that factor led to Angel being back here as a senior dog, but we know we'll be able to find her a loving home to spend her golden years in. This is Betty, and she is super cute. She is fawn and white, and she's got those great pointy ears, and the one just kind of always lets you know how she's feeling because it kind of moves around when the other one just sticks straight up. So she definitely has a cute little face that sets her apart from the other dogs on the floor. Betty is about 2 to 3 years old. She did come to us as a stray, so we're still learning about her. She is definitely much more shy than many of the other dogs on the adoption floor, but she does really seem to attach quickly to people. Right now the kennel techs have noticed that she gets very excited when she sees them. She jumps up and hugs them right away. I've seen her kind of whine when they walk away from her kennel. She's definitely a dog that would maybe benefit from having another dog in the house to keep her company, so she doesn't feel so lonely. She feels a little bit more secure. So she's not going to develop any serious anxiety issues or anything like that. We behavior assess all of our dogs here, and what our medical and behavior assessment team have learned is that she does do a pretty good job of keeping her kennel clean. She is very friendly, but she's also very cautious and nervous. She takes some coaxing to get her out of her kennel. She can kind of lag behind her handler when she's walking. So she needs someone who's going to help her boost her confidence and show her that the world really isn't a scary place, that good things can happen out in the world. Ways that you can do that are just, slowly socializing her so that she can be exposed to a lot of different things. But training, not only is it beneficial for the dog and the owner, to make sure that they're well behaved and safe, and it provides them with that mental enrichment. For a shyer dog, though, it can also help boost their confidence. So that could be a good thing that could be very beneficial for Betty. She does react favorably to other dogs, which is going to be really good for her, again, if she had a canine companion to keep her company during the day. If you're interested in Betty, you can visit with her here at Animal Control. Our address is 1832 Rosemont Avenue. And now for our special guest. This is Tala. If you follow the shelter, you probably are well aware of Tala's existence. She came to the shelter last March as a stray dog. We were in a Disney kick, so we named her Grandma Tala after Moana because she was a little bit older and she had those wise eyes. Now she kind of goes by Tala or any number of nicknames. We quickly learned that Tala had some issues with anxiety and being left alone. So we tried to find safe places for her. She would try to break out of her kennels, and she would break out of offices and things like that. So we found her a loving foster home where she has been for probably over a year now, where she has come a long way. They have worked very diligently with her to help her kind of overcome those issues, to make some compromises to help her with that. She also wasn't always a fan of dogs, so she's learning to get along with other dogs a lot better. She's been getting a lot of training, so she knows sit and down and roll over and all kinds of other things. She knows to walk nicely on a leash. And she's super affectionate. She does well with cats. She does well with kids. She likes to sleep in bed with you at night. She's just a wonderful dog. However, if you're interested in adopting Tala, it's important to kind of keep that structure with her because she might regress in a different home. So you really need to be committed to sticking with a plan and working with her. At about 9+ years old, right now we're not exactly sure how old she is. You do also want to make sure that you're prepared for any medical issues that would come up. She's had some little cancerous lumps removed and things like that. She does have some hair loss. She has a very sensitive stomach, so she has to be on a very specific diet. So you do want to make sure that you are able to care for her in the proper way. But she's very affectionate. She is a beloved member of the FCAC family. There are people who work here, myself included, who will even show up on a day off to get a little bit of Tala time. You can follow all of Tala's adventures on her very own Facebook page. If you search on Facebook for Team Tala FCAC, you'll see all of the things that she's been doing. She's gone to scenting classes or nose work classes for dogs. She goes on car rides and she gets her picture taken in the community, and she, just seeing her day-to-day life in a foster home. We want to thank you for tuning in today and meeting some of our adoptable animals. There are always many more to choose from than what we have time to showcase on Pet Pals. So if you don't see something that you think is going to be a great fit for your family, please stop in and visit with us. Our visiting hours are going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 10 to 5, Wednesday and Thursday from 12 to 8, and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Thanks for watching, and we hope you'll tune in again next week.